Chapter 8: Justice and Secrets. Operation Neptune Spear and bin Laden's death. For nearly a decade, he was a ghost. Then, one night in May, the most wanted man in the world became a body in a bag. The longest hunt. After slipping through the White Mountains of Tora Bora in December 2001, Osama bin Laden vanished. Over the next 10 years, he became America's most elusive enemy, a phantom blamed for every bombing, every threat, every shadow. Intelligence agencies scoured the globe, searching for his voice in intercepted calls, his face in satellite images, his footsteps in the tribal dust of Pakistan and Afghanistan. But the trail went cold. Some believed he was hiding in caves along the Afghan-Pakistani border. Others suggested he had died. The world's most powerful surveillance network couldn't find him. Not with drones, not with spies, not with bribes. Then a whisper changed everything. The courier, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. The key break came in 2007, when CIA analysts tracked an alias mentioned repeatedly in interrogations of high-value detainees. Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, a trusted courier for bin Laden. Initially, detainees downplayed his importance, but inconsistencies in their stories raised red flags. Over time, the CIA concluded that al-Kuwaiti was not only active, but possibly living with bin Laden himself. After years of work, in August 2010, Pakistani intelligence and U.S. surveillance pinpointed al-Kuwaiti's movements to a walled compound in Abbottabad, a quiet garrison town in Pakistan, just 1.3 kilometers from the Pakistan Military Academy. The building was suspicious. No internet or phone lines. High walls topped with barbed wire. Windows blacked out. Residents burned their trash. A mysterious tall man walked the compound, never leaving. The CIA dubbed it the Pacer. They believed it was bin Laden, the decision. For months, the intelligence was debated behind closed doors. President Barack Obama, CIA Director Leon Panetta, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Secretary of Defense Robert Gates, and a room full of intelligence and military brass considered the options. A drone strike could kill everyone inside, but destroy any chance of confirming bin Laden's death. A precision raid carried risk, both politically and militarily, but offered the opportunity to retrieve DNA, hard drives, and intelligence. The call came on April 29, 2011. President Obama approved the mission. The code name, Operation Neptune Spear. The team, SEAL Team 6, also known as DevGru, under the command of JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command. The infiltration, May 1, 2011. At 11 p.m. local time in Pakistan, two specially modified MH-60 Black Hawk helicopters lifted off from Jalalabad, Afghanistan, flying low to evade radar, hugging mountain ranges, blades slicing the night. Aboard were 23 Navy SEALs, a CIA interpreter, a military dog named Cairo, and backup Chinooks waiting on the border. The flight took 90 minutes. The target was the compound at 51 degrees Abbottabad Road. The compound raid, 0:30 a.m., May 2nd in Pakistan. As they descended into the compound, one Black Hawk suffered a critical stall due to hot air and high walls, and crash-landed inside the courtyard. No one was injured, but the mission was now exposed. The SEALs adapted instantly. Breaching explosives were used to enter the main building. Room by room, floor by floor, they cleared the structure with brutal efficiency. In the guest house, they killed Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti and his brother. In another room, they shot bin Laden's son, Khalid, after he charged with a weapon. Upstairs, behind a locked door, they found Osama bin Laden in a third-floor bedroom. He was unarmed but resisted. Behind him, one of his wives, Amal. A SEAL shot him twice, once in the chest, once above the left eye. Time from entry to exit, 38 minutes. Confirmation and extraction. As the SEALs gathered thumb drives, hard drives, and documents, they also confirmed the identity of the body using facial recognition, measurements, DNA samples compared with bin Laden's half-sister, whose brain tissue had been preserved in a U.S. lab. The body was placed in a body bag, then on a stretcher. Meanwhile, the crashed Black Hawk was rigged with explosives and destroyed to prevent sensitive tech from falling into enemy hands. The team exfiltrated aboard the backup Chinooks. By 2 a.m., they were out of Pakistani airspace. Mission complete. The Situation Room. Back in Washington, the leadership team watched in real time, though not the kill itself but biometric telemetry, drone visuals, and satellite communications. The now famous photo of President Obama, Vice President Biden, Secretary Clinton, and other key officials crowded around a monitor in the White House Situation Room captured the moment. "We got him." Message received from SEAL Team 6, codenamed Geronimo EKIA. Enemy killed in action. Public announcement. May 1st, 2011, 11:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That night, President Obama addressed the nation from the East Room of the White House. "Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world. The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden." Crowds flooded the streets of New York City, Washington, D.C., and outside the White House, chanting USA, USA, and waving flags. At Ground Zero, people wept. At FDNY Ladder 10, they rang the bell. The chapter that began on September 11, 2001, had found its coda. Burial at sea. Within 24 hours of the operation, bin Laden's body was flown to the USS Carl Vinson in the Arabian Sea, following Islamic traditions as closely as possible. The body was washed and wrapped in a white cloth, placed in a weighted bag. A Muslim prayer was recited by a U.S. officer. Buried at sea at 2 a.m. No grave, no shrine, no martyr's monument. The fallout. The raid triggered immediate international reactions. Pakistan condemned the U.S. for violating its sovereignty, but faced global embarrassment for harboring bin Laden so close to a military academy. Al-Qaeda confirmed bin Laden's death and vowed revenge. American allies, including Britain, France, and Israel, applauded the operation. Iran and radical Islamist groups called it an assassination. The documents recovered in Abbottabad revealed bin Laden was still issuing orders from his compound. He was planning new attacks, including targeting trains on September 11th anniversaries. He maintained communication via couriers and flash drives, avoiding all internet use. The intelligence treasure trove provided years' worth of leads. Controversy and conspiracy. Despite the mission's success, the secrecy surrounding bin Laden's body and the lack of public photos led to immediate conspiracy theories. Did the raid really happen? Was he captured alive and killed later? Was it politically timed? The U.S. government insisted no photos would be released, citing fears of inciting violence. Meanwhile, authors, journalists, and even members of SEAL Team 6 gave differing accounts in books and interviews. The narrative blurred, but the core fact remained. Bin Laden was dead. Justice or revenge? Across America, emotions were mixed. Relief that the man responsible for 9/11 was gone. Joy for families who lost loved ones. Unease about what had been done in the name of justice. Was this closure, or a milestone in an endless war? Some viewed it as justice. Others saw only the beginning of a new phase, where terrorism would evolve into lone wolves, cyber jihadists, and ideological successors. One mother of a 9/11 victim told reporters, "We didn't bring back my son, but at least now he can sleep." SEAL Team 6 and the cost of victory. SEAL Team 6, already legendary, became mythic. But the cost of the war they served in continued. In August 2011, just 3 months after the raid, a Chinook helicopter carrying 30 U.S. soldiers, including 17 SEAL Team 6 members, was shot down in Afghanistan. By 2014, the U.S. had spent over $1.5 trillion on the war on terror. PTSD, suicide, and moral injury haunted a generation of veterans. Justice, it seemed, was never clean. Closing reflection, the end of one ghost. The death of Osama bin Laden did not end terrorism. It did not collapse Al-Qaeda. It did not heal the wounds of 9/11. But it ended the hunt. In a dark room, in a quiet town, behind a locked door, the man who once brought down towers with box cutters and fanaticism met a nation that had waited a decade for that knock on the door. He had no warning, no prayer, no final word, just 2 bullets, and the war continued.